Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. In this video I'm going to show you how to buy a new Rolex car. As you know, Rolex is the largest seller of luxury watches in the world. Buying Rolex watches requires knowledge and expertise to do it to the right way. In this video we will talk about the multiple advices to take to be a best buyer of Rolex watches. When comparing new and used Rolex watches, there is so much that you need to know. The most important aspects to compare are their availability, pricing, and condition. Each explained will contribute to a well-rounded education that will provide a unique understanding of the differences and similarities between new and used Rolex watches. For example, when we talk about availability, the most talked about topic in the Rolex community is the availability of watches. In today's environment, Rolex authorized dealers' cases are completely empty. The demand is the large that Rolex waitlist encompasses every collection and lasts as long as 5+ years. This issue has become part of the Rolex brand and has pushed many fans away from the brand just because it's almost impossible to buy Rolex watches. New doesn't mean that you can't buy one today. The used Rolex market is flourishing with the heightened presence of the grey market. Individual buyers are now having to compete with big business when trying to buy new Rolex. Often the grey market is getting their hands on the hottest models and selling them for a large profit. The recommended strategy to acquire a Rolex at the right price is going through authorized dealers. This process takes longer, but you are assured to get a genuine Rolex at the best price. If you are new to buying new or used Rolex watches, check out many tips for buying Rolex. For pricing, it may come at a surprise, but used Rolex watches cost more than the new ones. In today's market, the demand for Rolex is extremely high. This has caused a shortage which have left many empty-handed for those trying to buy new Rolex but can't. For example, when we talk about this topic, people always ask how much is used Rolex, and it's difficult to answer because the market is always changing over the world. But we can say that pricing are only increasing, and this increase in premium differs from collection to collection. For example, let's take a look at the Datejust, Submariner, GMT Master 2 and Daytona collection. The collection of this group that has the smallest increase in price is the used Datejust at around 20%, following that is used Submariner at 75%, next is used GMT Master 2 at 100%. And the leader is used Rolex Daytona selling for 200% plus. With market conditions like this, it's no wonder why Rolex is now considered an investment. For more information, you can take a look of the description of this video. You will read some many descriptions about this topic. When we talk about condition, you might be shocked to hear that the condition of new and used Rolex watches are likely not that different. The durability and longevity of Rolex watches has been one of the pillars that have allowed the brand to ascend to the top of the watches in the world. It's not uncommon to see a 20-year-old Rolex function and appear as new if it's being maintained properly by Rolex service centers. The condition of vintage Rolex watches is so good that many references sell more used today than what current new ones cost. That is very impressive. Obviously, watchmaking technology has changed over the year, but the standard of Rolex hasn't, even through our Rolex movement like 3013, 3034 production movement. Their producers were certified. It's safe to say that when you buy a Rolex watch, that it's lasts a lifetime. Okay, we will talk about the three different options buyers you will be. There are three different options buyers have when purchasing a new or used Rolex. First, official Rolex retailer. The best place to buy a Rolex is throughout the authorized dealer network. The benefits of buying from Rolex authorized dealers is that you get the best pricing and guaranteed genuine Rolex watches. The downside is that it's very difficult to buy a new and even more difficult to get the exact model you desire. Also, we have non-authorized Rolex dealers. This channel is comprised of physical and online dealers across the world. There are different tiers of dealers that differ in trustworthiness, inventory selection, and price. When selecting a watch dealer that focuses on used Rolex inventory, it's important to interview them before you buy to make sure they are a company you trust. We have found dealers like Moyer Fine Jewelers and Dealer Watch to be excellent places to buy genuine pre-owned Rolex watches. Also, we have online marketplaces. The fastest and easiest place to find the exact used Rolex watch you desire is throughout the online marketplaces. Websites like Chrono24, eBay, and ChronoX have a large inventory pre-owned Rolex watches, but at large asking prices. Although these websites have added layers to ensure authenticity, many others haven't. Approach e-commerce marketplaces with caution when you buy a Rolex. Well, I will give you some advices. For example, what to consider when buying a used Rolex watch. You have taken the best first step by listening in this hour video. When buying a used Rolex, it's important to consider the market price of the watch, condition, long-term value. Obviously, the pre-owned Rolex marketplace is going to be more expensive, so it's important to buy at the right price. Try to find the watch you desire from a reputable source that is in a great condition. This will help with long-term with retention and reliability. If you can buy the used Rolex you want with achieving all three suggestions, you will be in great shape. Thanks for watching.